Greetings, Kentucky friends. The top recruit of the 2026 class, Tyran Stokes, is retiring from Notre Dame High School. He's the #1 player in the country and is leaving Notre Dame to explore new opportunities. Is this great news for Kentucky? Let's analyze the news, but first, subscribe to the channel to receive more news about the Cats. The news of Tyron Stokes' departure from Notre Dame High School has shaken the high school and college basketball scene. When the top recruit of the 2026 class decides to retire from his current program, the impact is immediate, and in Lexington, the effect is especially positive. For Kentucky basketball, this decision represents a real opening to consolidate a relationship that has been cultivated with patience and top priority under the leadership of Mark Pope. Stokes is a name that carries the weight of rare expectations, even among the top prospects. At 2.01 m tall, with an impressive physique and a combination of strength, explosiveness, and technical skill uncommon for his age, he is seen by many scouts as a prototype of the modern NBA athlete. His talent is evident. He dominates on offense, defends energetically, and displays a natural instinct for the game that transcends the category in which he plays. The decision to leave Notre Dame was confirmed by athletic director Alec Moses, who thanked the player for his contributions and wished him success in his new endeavor. The message was formal, but the subtext is clear. Stokes seeks an environment that matches his ambition, and at this point, Kentucky appears as the most logical destination. The Wildcats' interest is not new. Since taking over, Mark Pope has treated Stokes as a top priority for 2026. The coach and his staff have been investing time and energy in showing the young star what it means to play in Lexington. Not just the historical prestige, but the modern project that Pope is trying to build. And it is precisely this new project, focused on developing versatile talent and reclaiming Kentucky's competitive identity, that makes the university so attractive to someone of Stokes' caliber. The current scenario puts Kentucky in a privileged position. Kansas and Oregon are also in the running, but the connection between Stokes and the Wildcats program seems more natural. The style of play that Pope intends to implement values exactly the qualities that the forward offers: an athlete capable of playing in multiple positions, creating his own shot, and contributing on both sides of the court. In addition, there is a symbolic factor. Players of Stokes' level seek more than visibility. They seek heritage, a stage, and purpose. And Kentucky, even amidst its rebuilding, still represents the biggest stage in college basketball. The Big Blue Nation knows what it means to see a #1 recruit up close. It's the kind of name that changes the course of a program and sparks the imagination of fans. Another curious aspect is Stokes' potential not only as a basketball player, but as a complete athlete. His brief experience in American football demonstrates the level of versatility and athleticism he possesses. For Kentucky, which has a history of developing multifaceted talent, this profile is ideal. For now, Stokes' future remains uncertain. He could transfer to another high school powerhouse or even anticipate his entry into college basketball, something NBA recruiters will be watching closely. But one thing is clear. Leaving Notre Dame reopens a game and puts Kentucky in a position of strength that cannot be ignored. The Wildcat offensive philosophy is clear. Shoot a lot, especially from long range, and trust that the numbers will eventually adjust in their favor. However, after 4 games, a small sample size, but enough to raise questions, the team faces challenges in converting these attempts into consistent points. Despite this, there is a palpable optimism among players and coaching staff that this problem is not structural, but rather a matter of time and adjustment. The central message coming from the group is simple. We just need to keep shooting. This phrase, repeated by several players throughout post-game interviews, reflects both the confidence and resilience that Mark Pope has been instilling in the team since his arrival. The coach has insisted on the importance of maintaining a high volume of three-point shots. even when initial efficiency leaves something to be desired. With an average of 27.3 long-range attempts per game so far, the Wildcats are on track to surpass their ambitious goal of exceeding 30 attempts per game. However, his mere 26.7% shooting percentage on those shots is a clear indicator that something still needs refinement. The slow start can be attributed to several factors. First, there's a natural nervousness of a team still in the process of collective maturation. Many of these players, as highlighted by Denzel Aberdeen, were facing their first big opportunity in front of the passionate crowd at Rupp Arena. The pressure of wearing Kentucky uniform, combined with the high expectations created during the preseason, may have contributed to hasty or inaccurate shot selection decisions. Colin Chandler was direct in acknowledging that our shot selection was a little inaccurate in the first half against Nichols. This diagnosis makes perfect sense when looking at the statistics. Many of the missed shots in the first games were forced or poorly positioned, reflecting a team still seeking rhythm and synchronization. However, the gradual improvement seen in the second half against Nichols offers a promising glimpse. After a frustrating start, the Wildcats adjusted their approach, improving ball movement and finding better shooting angles. The success rate of 5 three-point attempts out of 11 in the second half demonstrates that when the team plays calmly and with discipline, results begin to appear. This reinforces the idea that the skill is there. What's lacking is consistency in execution. Mark Pope, known for his balanced and long-term development-focused approach, seems calm in the face of these initial numbers. He knows that the implemented system requires time to be fully assimilated by the players. Furthermore, the depth of the roster, another hallmark of this team, offers multiple options for finding solutions. Mo Diabate, for example, emphasized that the team is try to get as many shots as possible as a team, suggesting that the focus is not only on individuals but on collective dynamics. This collaborative mentality will be crucial to overcoming moments of low efficiency. Another important aspect is the defense, which Pope considers a strong point of this team. While outside shooting hasn't yet fallen consistently, defensive intensity has been a constant differentiator. This balance between offense and defense is fundamental to keeping the team competitive while offensive adjustments are made. The defense also serves as an additional source of motivation, as it generates more transition opportunities and, consequently, chances for open shots. Trent Noah, mentioned by Pope as someone who could save the team with his shooting ability, is another key element for the near future. Although his injury caused concern, his determination to return to the game is a clear sign that he will be a central piece in the evolution of the offense. His momentary absence creates an opportunity for other players to assume roles of greater responsibility, something Pope deeply values. Fans, accustomed to Kentucky's high standards, may be eager for more immediate results. However, patience is essential at this time. As Diabate said, it's Kentucky basketball, and that comes with a lot of expectations. Recent history shows that teams led by visionary coaches often go through adjustment phases before reaching their full potential. With a speech full of enthusiasm and conviction, Pope brought up an essential aspect of the game that he believes is the true game changer for his Wildcat success: defense. We're not talking about just any defense, but something bigger, something that transcends a simple act of stopping the opponent. For Pope, defense is an emotional engine, an inexhaustible source of energy and inspiration that can transform a young and talented group into an almost unbeatable machine. Pope's central message is clear. It won't just be the number of points scored that defines how far this team can go. Instead, it will be the ability to deny the opponent possession of the ball that will determine the Wildcats' fate. It's really important. This will determine how good we are this year, declared the coach, emphasizing that defense is not just a part of the game, but it's beating heart. This vision, while challenging, carries with it an unquestionable logic. In college basketball, where the margin between victory and defeat often comes down to small details. Having a solid defense can make all the difference. Pope recently illustrated this evolution with a specific sequence during a game, highlighting his team's growing defensive intelligence. After a timeout, he made a strategic adjustment. He assigned Ortega to guard a key player on the opposing team and instructed the rest of the team to pressure all screens. The interesting thing here wasn't just the adjustment itself, something relatively simple on paper, but the flawless execution by the players. It was an adjustment after a timeout, and our players managed to execute it twice. Pope explained with evident satisfaction. He recognizes that the ability to adapt in real time is a clear sign of progress and maturity. I like the fact that our players are so advanced that we can make simple adjustments like that during the game and execute them very well, he added. But Pope isn't just concerned with the tactical aspect. He knows that defense goes beyond diagrams and instructions shouted from the sidelines. What truly excites him is the emotional impact this mentality can generate. He has tirelessly repeated to his players that scoring points won't always be easy, but that defensive success should be celebrated as a victory in itself. It's fun. Like, scoring is fun. It's inspiring, actually. It's great, said Pope, revealing a contagious passion for the less glamorous side of the game. This approach seeks to change the mindset of his athletes, especially in a scenario where 90% of college players tend to seek validation exclusively on offense. For Pope, defense needs to be the team's engine, the primary source of energy and motivation. This challenge, however, will not be easy. The culture of modern college basketball is deeply rooted in the idea that offense is a big spectacle, while defense is often seen as a necessary evil. Changing this mentality requires more than tactics or training. It requires a cultural transformation within the team. Pope knows this and is aware that success will depend on his players' ability to internalize this new philosophy. We should be drawing energy from our defensive success, not frustrated by not doing well on offense, he stated, directly challenging the group. If the Wildcats can embrace this mentality, they have a chance to be special, as Pope himself put it. What makes this phase even more fascinating is the combination of the roster's youth and Pope's experience as a strategist. He has demonstrated an incredible ability to connect with his players, conveying a vision that goes beyond the basics. By emphasizing defense as a fundamental pillar, Pope isn't just teaching techniques or positioning. He's creating a collective identity. He wants his players to understand that success isn't measured solely by individual moments of brilliance, but by cohesion and teamwork toward a greater goal. When Pope says that defense will determine how good we are this year, he's doing more than making a prediction. He's issuing a call to action, an invitation for his players to prove they can be more than just talented, that they can be special. The SEC, known for its fierce competition, will present constant challenges, but also opportunities for the Wildcats to show what they are capable of. I want to hear your opinion. Comment